Well, welcome to this first video in the LCD touchscreen series. And I'm going to start off by looking at how to select different screen fonts using the TFT ESPI library. Now, when I did the videos on how to set up the various screens and their ESP32s, each of those different videos finished up basically with the same text being displayed on the screen. Now, going over to the webcam, you can see that I had some very tiny text. This was size 1. I then got some other text. This was font 4. Now, technically, you're supposed to be able to use, I think it's sizes 1 to 8, but some of those fonts are a little bit weird, and it's trying to use built-in fonts from what I can make out. And certainly with this screen, basically, some of those fonts didn't work. So for the ESP32S3 that I'm using, and I'm mixing that with the ILI 9488 with the 6236 capacitive screen, this is the sketch from the original sort of setup. And in the screen setup, the bit that's important to see here is I loaded up some text. This was the default font size. This was that tiny little bit of text on the screen. And then I loaded up the set text font. I gave it a value of 4, and that then gave me the bigger version of the font. And so going back to the webcam, that's how I finished up with the default size and then size 4. But of course, this is quite limited. It's only one sort of typeface, and it's not always the size that you would want for your project. Now, thankfully, the author of the TFT ESPI library also realized that, and he added the ability to add a whole load of extra fonts for free, and they're actually included within the library folder. Now, not only did those free fonts get added to the library, but also there are some demonstrations on how to use them. So you need to go into your examples, find your TFT ESPI library folder. Then I am using a 480 by 320 screen. Obviously, there is similar examples for other size screens, but in the 480 by 320, I then just go up and load the free font demo. So this is the actual sketch, and in the header, one of the things it talks about is the ability to actually create your own fonts as well. There is a utility for doing this from TrueType Fonts, and I've tried this out and it works really well. So if you have used the previous lessons that I've used to show you how to set up your screen, or if you've already set up your screen for yourself and you've got the correct setup folder or setup file, the user setup file in your TFT underscore ESPI library folder, if your screen's working already, you can just load this up and it will instantly give you a little demonstration of how the fonts work. So this is the uploaded sketch. It's showing different typefaces. Now it's showing the typefaces centered. Let's just watch the demo go through. Showing different boundary boxes so you can sort of see it against the background. And then finally we get to this bit, which is showing the text relative to a datum point. And this allows you to sort of center something, align the text above the datum, really useful for setting the cursor position. So to show you how to use these fonts within your sketch, I'm going to start with the sketch that I used just to demo the screen. I'm on the ESP32S3 with an ILI, I think it's a 9486, it might be a 9488, who knows, and I'm using the capacitive screen version, but any of the demo sketches on the page can be changed very, very easily. But that's going to be the sketch that I'm going to use as the basis. So going over to the IDE, Obviously, various libraries were loaded. Because I'm using the ESP32S3, I needed to define the pins that the wire library was going to use. And then I did the screen setup and the touch setup. Now, the touch process is going to remain as it was. What we're now going to look at is the screen. Now, the screen, I started off by setting the rotation, background was blue, drawing some text, drawing some more text. Sorry, that was a rectangle I drew. Then it was some text and then some more text. And this is the function that is going to be changed today. So the first thing I did was make a copy of that sketch and rename it. I've called it Touchscreen Free Fonts version 1. And then I made some modifications to the sketch. Now you will notice in the tabs there is an extra include file, and this is free underscore fonts.h, and that needs to be included in your sketch. Now, when I was messing around with this, I found it was quite important to make sure that this was included after the tft underscore espi.h file. Now, the next thing that you need to do, obviously, is get this file into your project folder. So let's have a quick look at how that's done. So the first thing to do is find your libraries folder in your sketch folder. Go into there and then find the TFT ESPI library. Once you are in there, go into examples. I'm going to 480 by 320 and the free font demo. And there you will find the file free underscore fonts.h. Then all you need to do is open your sketch folder for the sketch that you're working on and just make a copy of this file within your sketch folder. Once that's done, it will then appear in the tabs. So once you have this file loaded, there's some basic information in the top of it about how you load fonts into your sketch. And that can be done in a number of ways. You can load the full name, or the author has created some shortcuts, and that's what I'm going to use for my system. There is another method down here, but I found this was a really good way of working out which typeface I wanted to use. Now, as you start to scroll down through this file, you start to get a list of the different typefaces. And this list is reasonably long. Now, unless you're an expert in understanding what typefaces look like, for me, I had no idea which typeface was which. So for today's little project, I'm actually going to build a display system that works through all of these typefaces and displays the code for the typeface so that I can work out if I now see a typeface that I like, I then know the code that I need to use. So just looking at the new sketch here against the original sketch I did, in the original test sketch, I set the rotation to 2. Now, that means that if you like, the sketch is looking sort of in portrait mode. For this particular sketch today, I've set the rotation to 1 so that it's going more in a landscape mode. Then I've set the background to black, and then I've called this new function build screen 0, which is going to work through building the actual screen up. So all this has been removed because that was just for testing that the screen worked. Now, because of the number of typefaces that are included within the library, I knew that I wouldn't be able to put them all on one screen. So we're going to use the touch facility to scroll through the various typefaces. So to make sure I know which typefaces I'm supposed to use, I've got a value here called font screen, And this variable, depending on its value, is going to be included in a switch statement, and that's going to set the different typefaces that the screen is going to draw. So the first thing with this function, and this function is going to be called every time the screen is pressed, and each time it's pressed, it's going to increment and move through a different set of typefaces. So the first thing it needs to do is get rid of any existing things that were on the screen. So for that, it's going to set the fill screen to black. That basically paints the whole screen black, and then it's setting the text color. Now I have selected white on a black background because when I'm building projects, those are the colors I tend to use. So I want to test my typefaces against that. Obviously, if you want to change the colors, feel free. Then what I've done is for each screen, I have got a different set of information that I'm going to draw on the screen. So basically, I'm going to use this function here. This sets the font that I am going to display. So TT1, if I go into the freefonts.h, TT1 stands for Tom Thumb, which happens to be a very small typeface. The next typefaces he's got are FM9, FM12, FM18, and FM24. And what I've done is I have basically used these different functions. So the first thing I'm doing is setting the typeface, then I'm setting its positioning. Now I am using cc underscore datum, which basically is centering on the datum point. So when I draw the text string, the first position I'm going to pick is 120 pixels by 30 pixels, and I want the text to be centered on that location. That is what this cc underscore datum is going to give me. So the draw string, this is the string that I want to print out. It's going to be the font shortcut, and I'm going to print it out on that location. Then what I've done is gone down 30 pixels, gone down a few more pixels because the typeface was getting bigger, and I've put in the next typefaces. Going down, I then once I'd done a line down the left-hand side of the screen, I've then gone over to the right-hand side of the screen, and again, I've put in some more typefaces. Finally, right at the bottom of the screen, I've selected this particular font, again centered it, and I'm centering it on a position of 240 by 260 pixels, and it just says press to continue. So going back up to the beginning of the switch statement, if font screen has a value of 1, I'm going to display 9 different typefaces. If it has a value of 2, I'm going to display another 8 typefaces. 3, another 8, and I had to work my way down. I'm not going to make you suffer through all of them, but I finished up with, was it a value of 12. So there are 12 screens full of 8 typefaces, and one of those screens happens to have 9 typefaces on it because there's that little Tom Thumb version. Finally, the default, if there's any other value for the font screen, then it just displays this and says, press any screen to view the fonts. Now you'll notice it sets the font screen value to 0, and that's because the font screen value is updated by the touch system. So going into touch.ino, before we were just serial printing out in this touch find button function the X and Y position, and I'm going to continue to do that. But what I'm going to do is increment the value of font screen, and then I'm going to call that function build screen 0. which is on the Screen tab. And every time I call this function, he says, scrolling up rapidly, it's going to call the function, do that background, do a switch statement on the value of font screen, and it will then display the appropriate typefaces. So once the sketch starts, this is what I get. I start off with font screen with a value of 0, so I get the default. Pressing on this, I then get my first set of typefaces, the next set, and I can just work my way through. Now, the great thing about this is because I can now see the codes, if I see a particular typeface that I want to use within my project, I can now see instantly the code that I need to put in the display function. So if I wanted to use this font here, FF48, all I would need to do is use set free font and then put in that value FF48, and it will then display the typeface that I have just selected. So this project isn't just a case of making something pretty on the screen. The idea was actually to build something that was a useful tool, and I can now look through this and select the sort of typefaces I would prefer to use. It also gives me some sizes so that I sort of know how many pixels I'm basically going to be using on the screen. Now, in my sketch, I used CC datum to set my text datum. That means that I am centered horizontally and vertically on the pixels that I set as my datum point. However, you might want your text to be aligned in other types of position. To do that, just load up the free font demo sketch that we looked at earlier. Scroll down to about line 174. Yep, that's about it. And this actually is the code that was used to display the datum positions. Now, ignore draw datum because that's just the bit that drew the little sort of cross on the screen. But the important bit here is you can see that TL datum means it's going to be top left of that point, TC datum, top center, TR datum, top right. So these are the different bits of code that you would then replace this line with, and that will set your text in a different way. It will still be using this as a datum, but you might be setting your text above it, below it, to the left, to the right, and above. There's all the different options in there, as you would have seen in the demo sketch. So I hope that's been useful, and through it you can now see how you can view all the fonts and add these different fonts into your project to give your project screen its own unique look. Now, as always, the link to the resource page is just below the video, so you can download the files, if you like, the sketch file, if you want. So I hope that's been useful, and at least it sort of demonstrates how you can add extra fonts into your project. And if it has been useful, please click the like and subscribe button because it really does help the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.